Benjamin Franklin FRS FRSA FRSE, January 17, 1706 OS January 6, 17051 April 17, 1790, was an American polymath and one of the founding fathers of the United States. Franklin was a leading writer, printer, political philosopher, politician, Freemason, postmaster, scientist, inventor, humorist, civic activist, statesman, and diplomat. As a scientist, he was a major figure in the American Enlightenment and the history of physics for his discoveries and theories regarding electricity. As an inventor, he is known for the lightning rod, bifocals, and the Franklin stove, among other inventions. He founded many civic organizations, including the Library Company, Philadelphia's first fire department, and the University of Pennsylvania. Franklin earned the title of the first American for his early and indefatigable campaigning for colonial unity, initially as an author and spokesman in London for several colonies. As the first United States ambassador to France, he exemplified the emerging American nation. Franklin was foundational in defining the American ethos as a marriage of the practical values of thrift, hard work, education, community spirit, self-governing institutions, and opposition to authoritarianism, both political and religious, with the scientific and tolerant values of the Enlightenment. In the words of historian Henry Steele Commager, in a Franklin could be merged the virtues of Puritanism without its defects, the illumination of the Enlightenment without its heat. 6. To Walter Isaacson, this makes Franklin the most accomplished American of his age and the most influential in inventing the type of society America would become. 7. Franklin became a successful newspaper editor and printer in Philadelphia, the leading city in the colonies, publishing the Pennsylvania Gazette at the age of 23. 8. He became wealthy publishing this and Poor Richard's Almanac, which he authored under the pseudonym Richard Saunders. After 1767, he was associated with the Pennsylvania Chronicle, a newspaper that was known for its revolutionary sentiments and criticisms of British policies. He pioneered and was the first president of Academy and College of Philadelphia, which opened in 1751 and later became the University of Pennsylvania. He organized and was the first secretary of the American Philosophical Society and was elected president in 1769. Franklin became a national hero in America as an agent for several colonies when he spearheaded an effort in London to have the Parliament of Great Britain repeal the unpopular Stamp Act. An accomplished diplomat, he was widely admired among the French as American minister to Paris and was a major figure in the development of positive Franco-American relations. His efforts proved vital for the American Revolution in securing shipments of crucial munitions from France. He was promoted to Deputy Postmaster General for the British colonies in 1753, having been Philadelphia Postmaster for many years, and this enabled him to set up the first national communications network. During the Revolution, he became the first United States Postmaster General. He was active in community affairs and colonial and state politics, as well as national and international affairs. From 1785 to 1788, he served as governor of Pennsylvania. He initially owned and dealt in slaves, but, by the late 1750s, he began arguing against slavery and became an abolitionist. His life and legacy of scientific and political achievement, and his status as one of America's most influential founding fathers, have seen Franklin honored more than 2 centuries after his death on coinage in the $100 bill, warships, and the names of many towns, counties, educational institutions, and corporations, as well as countless cultural references. Ancestry: Benjamin Franklin's father, Josiah Franklin, was a tallow chandler, a soaper, and candlemaker. Josiah was born at Ecton, Northamptonshire, England on December 23, 1657, the son of a blacksmith and farmer Thomas Franklin, and Jane White. Benjamin's father and all 4 of his grandparents were born in England. Josiah had 17 children with his 2 wives. He married his first wife, Anne Child, in about 1677 in Ecton and immigrated with her to Boston in 1683. They had 3 children before immigrating, and 4 after. Following her death, Josiah was married to Abia Folger on July 9, 1689, in the Old South Meeting House by Samuel Willard. Benjamin, their 8th child, was Josiah Franklin's 15th child and 10th and last son. Abia Folger was born in Nantucket, Massachusetts, on August 15, 1667, to Peter Folger, a miller and schoolteacher, and his wife, Mary Morrell Folger, a former indentured servant. She came from a Puritan family that was among the first pilgrims to flee to Massachusetts for religious freedom, when King Charles I of England began persecuting Puritans. They sailed for Boston in 1635. Her father was the sort of rebel destined to transform colonial America. 9. As clerk of the court, he was jailed for disobeying the local magistrate in defense of middle-class shopkeepers and artisans in conflict with wealthy landowners. Ben Franklin followed in his grandfather's footsteps in his battles against the wealthy Penn family that owned the Pennsylvania colony. Early life in Boston. Benjamin Franklin was born on Milk Street, in Boston, Massachusetts, on January 17, 1706, 112, and baptized at Old South Meeting House. He was one of 17 children born to Josiah Franklin, and one of 10 born by Josiah's second wife, Abia Folger, the daughter of Peter Folger and Mary Morrell. Among Benjamin's siblings were his older brother James and his younger sister Jane. Josiah wanted Ben